What is up? The squad is favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies back like we never left with MJLover23. Thought I'll put all of that stuff up there just in case we decide to give y'all some information about some shekels while we on this show having a discussion.
Shekel.
But we are here to
Shekel.
talk Colorado Buffs football, baby. We got a game coming up this week, and we are playing
Yep.
Kansas State. What do you think? Tell me, what do you think? How you feeling about Buffs? How you feeling about the Buff season so far? Talk to me. We got.
Well, you know me, I worry a lot, and there was a few the games that I had worried about. You know, it's funny because there's a few of the games that the Bucks played that I was more worried about than the Nebraska game. I knew Nebraska was going to be tough. I didn't, it was just one of those days that that happens when nothing goes your way until the second half, right? Even the interception, the linebacker plays it perfectly, and the ball just squirts right out of his hands, right to the receiver's hands for a touchdown, right? I mean, those things you can't really do much about. You just got to just play the game out and just move on to the next week. But as of now, I mean, and I did have my worries about the UCF game, whether or not they'd be able to stop the run. Yeah, well, that answers that. I give props to Warren Sapp and the linebacker coach. He has those guys humming. It's not perfect just yet, but at least we see flashes of greatness headed our way.
And I think that's the point. It's not perfect yet. It's definitely not perfect yet, but it's coming, and you can see that. You can see the progress. And y'all know me. It's always hard overhead. When I rock with somebody, I rock with somebody. I rock with Dion. And I think I was on a Rob the Man media show earlier at the beginning of the season, and I was, I think, overly confident for what everybody else was saying. And I was saying like, yo, I just felt like this was the first half of the season that we could really kind of like take advantage and kind of be where we're at. So it's not like, oh, I saw this coming. But I was confident enough, and I believed Coach Prime when he said last year was going to be the worst that we were going to be, and so catch us then. And I like how we growing. I know that at the beginning of the first couple weeks, I was like, oh, listen, Shador is getting up off the ground too many times for me right now. But I think we were one of the bet shows, and you were saying how the lines are going to gel. Take them a little bit longer, especially on defense and stuff. But the offensive line would gel, and I think everything is clicking right on time. But I think for me, what I'm excited about is that we've been able to see, like, what is this like now? 5 weeks of Travis, like, and the difference that he makes as a Colorado Buffalo football player. Right. So, Coach Dre, I see you out there. Appreciate you pulling up and checking in with us. Hope everything is well with you. Looking forward to this game we got coming up.
Oh man.
Okay, we got
it's
we got
a lot of good stuff
already.
To talk about. I don't even know
So,
I'm trying to figure out where to start with this game.
Man, at the beginning, let's start.
Well, it's not just the game, and I'm kind of looking ahead. I know I shouldn't be looking ahead, but I'm looking at I think there's 3 or 4 teams that are undefeated in the conference. So I'm trying to figure out, because this game is big, like taking care of business against Colorado State, number 18, who just beat Oklahoma State pretty convincingly. This would be big. This would actually put some distance between Colorado and a few of the other teams, and it would also put them as one of the front runners to capture, the conference title, which a lot of people didn't. There's no way that they thought that Colorado would be in this position right now, and I'm just excited about it, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a lot of the things that I've seen that has definitely improved, which is weird because one of the things we haven't seen is Mr. Horn. Mr. Horn is he is running his routes. He's not, it's not like they're benching him or anything like that. But he has 1 touchdown this season. Like
I'm glad you brought him.
we're in.
I'm so glad you brought him up. I'm so
Uh-oh.
glad you brought him up. This is the game. This is the game. This is the Jimmy Horn Jr. game right here. This is the one. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not to cut you off, but like their defense is suspect deep. Their defense is suspect deep. Just from the little peaks and stuff that I had, what I was able to see, I think Shador has a chance to really eat them up. He can carve them up deep. So Travis is a problem. And I think this is the Jimmy Horn game. I think this is the one that he can, the Jimmy Horn Jr. game. I think this is the one that he can get down. He can get down in. I think. I just think the vulnerability to the deep pass plays. I think that he runs great routes like you were just saying, and he's gonna be able to beat some of these DBs down the field, and that's where I think that's where our where the money is for us this season. But I don't know. Y'all jump in the chat too and tell me what y'all think. What y'all think about this game coming up? Let's see. No, we're not going to no Diddy parties. James of Flatbush, what up?
What's up?
RC.
RC.
What's up, RC? Sobering up after the Mets bust the Phillies at. I said the Mets was serious. I said the Mets was serious about the Subway Series. James, you hear me?
Yeah, getting there.
Topper must go. He must be fired. Oh man, the Mets. Okay, blue and orange skies. But
yeah.
So. But I mean, you brought him up. And I think that was perfect. I think this is a Jimmy Horn Jr. game. So,
but you're looking at receiving core. There's their top 4, and in one of my favorites outside of Travis is Omari Miller, right? Mm-hmm. Big receiver, had a big play. I mean, I honestly thought that he would be more of a focal point just because he's a big receiver, big target. Huge catch radius, but it's hard to do that when you have Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn, LeJontay Wester, who's actually he has 5 touchdowns and he started slow, which is that's saying something. And then you got Will Shepherd, who he's been a little bit shaky on some games, but then he'll come back and make these NFL prospect catches that are just ridiculous, right? So you're looking at 3 to 4 potential NFL play on Sunday wide receivers, and you got Shador Sanders basically navigating and throwing the ball all over the field. So you can't cover everybody. If Jimmy Horn, here's what I would love to have happen, and I don't know if it's going to happen. I would love to have them run Jimmy Horn in more slot routes, quick slants, medium posts, get into the zone and sit type patterns just to actually get him going, just because his speed is there. He doesn't drop a whole lot of passes, and he's definitely motivated to play on Sunday. So if they could get him into there, their offense would be ridiculous. I mean, let's be honest, though. I mean, our running game isn't the best. Micah Welch has come out as our goal line back, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic for me. As long as we have somebody that can punch the ball in, and Shador doesn't have to throw it in or have to run it in himself, it makes the team so much better, right? We don't have that back that can break 70 or 80-yard runs or anything like that. But as long as we can keep the chains moving a little bit and make sure that Shador is not on his back a lot, fantastic. The road to success will be paved in gold, so to speak.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. I mean,
paved in gold. I want to hear that.
I mean, as of right now, I mean, it looks like, by all accounts, it looks like there's going to be a bowl game in the future, but we just don't know which one it will be. And then as far as the playoffs go, I mean, I'm not going to go that far ahead right now. I'll just be happy with the progress that's being made right now. My other concern, though, is Shiloh Sanders is coming back for this game. And he has missed about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks with the broken forearm. He'll be playing with a rubber cast, from what I understand. We definitely need him for teams like this that have good running backs. They have a couple of good running backs. On top of that, it's a revenge game for Mr. Edwards. He's the third string, by the way. I think he actually comes in on third strings, but I have a feeling they'll actually try to fit him in as a swing back, catching the ball out of the backfield and running like it's a punt or a kickoff return or something like that. He'll definitely be on kickoff returns too, so just beware of that. Want to make sure that we don't give him any light at all, zero. Because the worst thing that could happen is to let him give K-State some momentum and some light. So I'm quite sure we'll have a game plan for him. But one thing I wanted to mention is that in the absence of Shiloh, Cameron Craig, he leads the Buffs in tackles at safety. Which, I mean, as a great accomplishment, he's done a very good job. The issue with that is, and I've always had an issue with that, is that when the safeties are leading in tackles, that means that the running games are doing a little bit too much. Linebackers should always lead the teams in tackles. They should always lead the team in tackles. The front line, actually, they beat their one-on-one jobs up front, and the linebackers go and hunt the running backs and make sure that they get the minimum amount of yardage. But being 4-1, I mean, you can't really complain about it. I mean, it seems to be working. And then getting Craig in, getting Shiloh back in, that will definitely help, cutting down on big plays. I'd love to see us intercept more balls. I know Travis has two. I think Preston Hodge has two. So we have 4 interceptions in 5 games, which is not bad, but it could be better. I think there's a few other backs that have missed opportunities on interceptions, but I mean, I guess what's the old saying? I guess that's why they play defense, right? So
exactly. You know what? I don't know. This is what I'm going to say. And let me see. 24 years later, the Subway Series, the sequel, maybe still got just one loss, right? Yeah, Colorado, and it was just one loss, and it was a narrow loss to me to Nebraska. Like we could have won that game. We could very well be sitting here at 5-0, and I think what does that make us?
Well, we shut them out. We shut them out in the second half.
That would make us like 2 games out of bowl contention, right? With half a season left, almost. Okay. 2-0 in conference play too, right? So I think we have a really good chance of winning the Big 12 conference. I said that earlier. People was like, "Really, the Big 12?" Says you think so? I do. Nothing looks really, really daunting. I don't bet against Prime. I think Kansas State. I'm not overlooking Kansas State. I think that this is a really good football team. It's going to be a really good football game. But I think Shiloh coming back is going to be kind of like a spark. I expect the defense to score. Travis shows every week how much, and it makes me mad because every week I see how good Travis is. It makes me understand how much we were robbed of last year, right? Like,
you make a great point.
So many opportunities that we were going to get to see this kid play. It's so many great, it's so many great situations against so many good teams. It just infuriates me that we're only going to get this time with this kid because he's special. And when it's all on the line, like, you can't bet against Prime, can't bet against Travis. And Shedeur is so cool. He's so cool. He doesn't get rattled. He doesn't get rattled when he's down. He gets better. It's almost like he has a heightened sense of what's going on in the game. He sees it a little bit better, it seems like, when his back is up against the wall. So I expect us to go take care of business against Kansas. And I know that's not what people want to hear. I know it's not what people want to hear, but I know, and I'm not trying to disrespect the Kansas State Wildcats, not at all. I get who Avery Johnson is. I get Giddens, the running back. Uh, they're a powerful offensive duo. They are, but it's just something special about this trio that we got. And then when you add in the people around them, and you sprinkle some prime on top, it's hard to bet against that. I'm sorry, it's hard to bet against that.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
see us getting better each week.
yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, it's the only thing I would say too is that with the K State, the duo of Avery Johnson and DJ Giddens is that they are the only duo QB and running back that average higher than 7 yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
That that's a big number.
Yes, it is.
That's a huge number. I mean, and I know it's college football, but still, having two players on your team that average over 7 yards a carry, that's I mean, it's hard to deal with when you have a quarterback that you can't contain. It's even worse when that quarterback can run and really do some damage to you, right? So the key, and I know Warren Sapp's been preaching this, right? Is more or less, getting after them, making sure that you contain and collapse. That way, when sacks come, they come in bunches. They just don't. You don't get one sack. You end up getting two or three in consecutive, possessions. So being able to contain will be the key. The other part of it is making sure, like you said, get the turnovers and basically take one to the house. Like they've done it, right? Defense has scored this year. It's not like they can't do it again. You're at home. You have perfect reason to actually get really, really hyped up because Shiloh's back. The other thing that I would say is I know that one of the things that I saw, and I was kind of I'm not sure. I need somebody to kind of talk me through this. Our defensive ends and our linebackers really get some good penetration, especially when there's a blitz. But however, they've had some trouble with overrunning the quarterback pocket and letting quarterbacks out to run. I'm hoping that we can actually close the gaps on that this game.
What is that? Angles?
Yeah, just the angles. It's just they're taking wider angles. Quarterbacks making a move and then they're dipping inside, quarterbacks dipping outside, that type of thing. I think it's possible, and I'm trying to be positive about it. But I know there was a couple games where I saw, I think number 9. I want to say is that Stoudemire or whoever that is. I can't remember who that was, but there's a few times where he had opportunities to intercept balls. Once we did get pressure and he dropped them. So I'm hoping that we actually get. I mean, I'm hoping we get about two interceptions today, not just one. We take one back to the house, great. But if we can get two interceptions and rattle the quarterback's confidence, that'd be great too.
Okay. Let's see here. Coach Dre say MJ Jimmy is in the slot on offense, and the coach was the head coach for it looked like North Dakota State, so they run the same offense a little bit.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, Travis is a once in a lifetime talent for sure. I agree. Showstopper is saying 2 words. Robert Livingston. Ooh, that's defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I
Senator, what's good?
I am definitely optimistic, right? As opposed to, and that's one thing I wanted to piggyback on with you, Cess. So you bring up such a great point. Just think, and I know it was last year. Last year's team was a different team. But just think if we didn't lose Travis to a cheap shot in the Colorado State game and he doesn't miss 4 games. Just think about that.
And the games that he missed, right? The games that we got robbed of.
Yeah.
One of those games was the USC game, right? It was like USC, somebody else. Yeah, it was a good run. It was like
we could have definitely used him in the USC game. Definitely. Right. I mean, but I digress. This is a totally different team. Right. I mean, we had some of the same names, but the offensive line itself, and I think I read this a couple of days ago. I think so our rookie, and I think he's a left guard or left tackle. He has not allowed a sack in 3 out of 4 games that they've played.
Oh wow, okay.
I think it's 3 or 4. 3 out of 4, something like that. Which
Okay.
I mean, that's fantastic, right? I mean, he was the 5-star recruit, right? That we needed on the line, and
Yep.
and he's doing his job. He's doing his job. I mean, I would imagine that he's going to become the leader of that offensive line. Once some of the seniors graduate or get drafted, however it goes. But I have high hopes for him, and hopefully and it's so great with Seton is that he is active in recruiting. Like he's the one that's in the chat rooms and on the IGs and on the social media saying, dude, I mean, either you're coming or you're not coming, right? And he's going after all the 4 or 5-star recruits. Like, dude, what's there to think about, right? We're doing big things up here, that type of thing. And you need players like that, especially in college, right? The coaches can't get to everything, right? They can't, right? I don't even know, to be honest with you, that Deion Sanders would have like a whole bunch of recruits. I mean, it's more or less, I think it's like there's a chat room, and then they have like Shador and Shiloh and Seton and a few other cats are in there, and then they'll invite some of the recruits in there, and then they chop it up. They tell them what it's like, right? This is what it's like. You want to be here and see the spotlight, get your best chance to get to the next level, be coached by actual pros, people that have played in the NFL, in high level colleges. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to come here? So I hope that continues, in the foreseeable future, as long as he, Coach Prime wants to stay in the college ranks. I think it's a good. I think it's.
Don't get me started about him.
They're even recruiting. They're recruiting the teams that they're beating. Like, dude,
I'm gonna tell you what I'm concerned about, though. So I see in sports. I think it was Sports Illustrated. Jason Jones, Sports Illustrated, reported that Deion is issuing stern warnings about sitting kids for academic reasons.
Yeah.
Is this are they trolling? Is this a real concern?
Why not?
Well, I'm asking, like, is this just people taking shots at Colorado program and what Deion is doing, or are these real concerns that we have about what's going on with our players there? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well,
everybody should be taking care of business in this situation.
You know how people.
I mean, he set this thing up to the point where people that are having kids have college scholarships. There's no way you should be messing this up. Anybody,
right? But they're young kids though. They're still kids. Trying to find their way and trying to figure out, which way they want to go. And, in some of the kids, as you well know, go through their I know it all stage. Everything they do is right until it's wrong. Right. So, I mean, some people have to learn the hard way, but you got to think of it this way. As a team, of course, Colorado doesn't want to lose anybody to games or academics or anything like that. But when somebody isn't doing their job or pulling their weight, either on the field or off the field, when they lose that opportunity to play, that is usually the thing that actually wakes them up, saying, okay, this is real stuff. I don't want to lose this, because even in on this team, if you get suspended for a game because of academics or whatever the case may be, there's three other people trying to get your spot. So, and if somebody else comes in and plays as good or better than you, by the time you're back and ready to play again, you might not have a spot. You might have to fight for your spot again. So, I mean, that has to be a part of the whole thing. Accountability, right? He has a lot of sayings that he has, and they're written all over the meeting wall when you walk in. But he means it. He means all that stuff. And if you don't stand on that, what are you going to stand for? You're going to stand for what people are saying you stand for, which is just oh, the spotlight and me, and that type of thing, when you're actually going to be graduating kids, in June, and also preparing them for trying to play on Sundays, right? There's already one guy that was here last year. He's playing on Sundays. He's with the Arizona Cardinals right now, right? So I mean, once you see that and you have players that see players that they played with going and playing on Sunday, you don't think that's not going to motivate these people, right?
It's a hell of a motivator. That's a hell of a
It's
motivator.
gotta be. It better be a motivator. I mean, if you want to play on Sunday, then you have the other part of it where, as some players feel that they're not playing enough, so they want a red shirt. Basically, what that means, if you're a healthy red shirt and you've already played 3 or 4 games, it basically means you want to leave. You're not staying, right? And I think Coach Prime actually he addressed that too. He's like, if they want a red shirt, that basically means they want to go. NCAA rules should actually change their rules to be able to let them go where they want to go, right? Because it doesn't make sense for them to hang around the team, right, while they're trying to win games and be motivated, and they see this guy or these guys on campus, and they're talking with him and all that stuff, and it's just it's a weird dynamic. It builds a weird space, and I agree with him. I mean, if they feel like I don't want to out him, but he played a different position last year with us, but this year they moved him to a different position. Doesn't really like the playing time he's getting or the position that they're putting him in, and he just feels like he wants he wants the red shirt to save a year. Most likely he wants to play somewhere else where he'll be able to play the position he wants to play, right? But things like that disrupt the team, right? I mean, so the narrative is this. So if Prime says, okay, this dude, he's not going to class, he's not doing the work, we know it because we look at the reports, we have it on the computer. Everything they do is on the computer. If they don't do it, we're going to know it, right? So if he has to suspend that guy, that's right on the merits. The hard part of having somebody that is not playing a lot or is playing a position they don't want to play and they want a red shirt, you have to distance him from the team too, but you can't really do that. There's rules where, unless it's disciplinary or something like that, then if that player wants to use the facilities or be close to the team, not attend practices and stuff like that, they can still do that. That's disruptive, right? Suspending somebody for not doing grades and things like that, that's a player not following through on his obligations to the team. Somebody that wants
that should just be part of your regular contract and being a part of the team. Like, you got to take care of that business first before you take care of business.
Right. So I mean, like I said,
that's your ticket to
other
practice.
Players that are there to take that position. So if they don't want to go to class and do what they need to do, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, to be honest with you, back in the day when I was in college, and some of the stars of the Division I, you would get a C just for showing up to class. I mean, they would give you a C just because they knew you were on the team. They supported the football or basketball team. As long as you show up and you don't disrupt the class, you're getting a C. Now, if you apply yourself, then you can get B's and A's and different things like that. But if you're just there, just sitting around, they would just give you a C. I don't know how you're failing any classes when, for the most part, you can halfway pass just by showing up. I mean, I know that sounds bad, but still, I mean, that
sounds terrible. That sounds terrible, MJ. I'm just saying,
that's the reality of it, though. I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, that's what it is.
It's not. I mean, it happens. I mean, we would be remiss if we acted like it didn't happen. Like, we understand that. We know that before there was NIL, there was gray area NIL. You know, I mean, we're not gonna act like this stuff didn't happen. And we're not gonna act like it only happens at Colorado, right? Like
Right.
it happens everywhere. And yeah, like we said, like Cormani, Bishop Thomas last year. AB was good, fam. Um, I think I like that. I like that he addresses it in front of everybody.
Well, yeah.
Um,
So as long as he addresses it first, they can't run with a narrative that's not the truth, right? So
right.
as long as he comes out and it's the old saying, get out in front of it. You get out in front of it, you really don't have anything to worry about. Somebody's making up stories. You can do that's not true. I told you guys what was going on, or you can just stop it in the butt. They can't make up something about something if you get out in front of it first, right? Unless you're lying about it, which he has no reason to lie. It's not an issue. Um, but one thing I should probably jump into is just kind of the run up
Let's talk,
to this
let's talk
game.
about it. Let's talk about it.
So Avery Johnson, 879 yards passing. He's 61%, which it's okay. It's
Oh
not
wait. Let me jump before we jump. Before you
sure.
jump, Coach Race MJ. Not all true. Everyone that asked for a red shirt is not leaving. Some maybe not at all. JB is still practicing so everything will work itself out.
Well,
So you think
I didn't want to say his name, so I hear you, Coach. I'll let you handle that part of it. I mean I like him too. I don't. It's not like I don't like him. He did work as safety. Evidently they felt that he would be better at linebacker, and they needed faster safeties back there. I mean that's what I got from the move. Evidently he doesn't like the linebacker position, so I hope it works itself out. I mean, he seems like a cool cat. I mean, I never had any problem with him. Never heard anybody on the team have any problem with him either. So I hope it does work out.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so too. I hate to see kids. I one thing I do. I'm glad that the portal is available, and I'm glad that you could transfer, and I'm glad that you can do things like that and get out of situations that you don't want to be in. But I hate to see kids have to transfer, right? Like I want the first pick to be the right one for the most part. So, and it's hard for me to say that there is a kid that wouldn't benefit from being coached by Coach Prime and what he is doing at Colorado. I know it's not for everybody, but it's hard for me to say that. So I do hope it works out too. So
Yeah, but was he a carryover from the last coaching staff or no?
hmm, that's a good question. That I don't know.
I had to double check.
I
I
don't
had to
know.
double check. I thought he was a carryover from the last coaching staff. I might be wrong on that though.
Let's see, we can find out.
I
Okay,
will
if y'all know
find
in the
out.
chat, let us know. But you were finna jump in something else. I'll check. I'll be checking too. So,
Oh yeah. So what
uh,
I wanted to jump into kind of what
he put about
the
43 Woods, I think.
game. Woods, yeah, Woods, exactly. That's his name. Um, I wanted to jump into some of the stats just to give you guys a heads up and
No,
just
MJ, if you are talking, we can't hear you, or maybe you are frozen. I am not sure.
am I
Uh,
frozen? I hope not.
y'all let me know in the chat. What are y'all feeling about the game? This game this weekend? I think
Okay.
it'll be. I'm not saying it'll be a blowout. But I don't think it'll be close. I think we win pretty comfortably. Um,
Testing, 1, 2.
like I said, I think that this is the Jimmy Horn Jr. Um, game where he can have a break where he can break out. I think Shador. I think Shador carves them up. I know that we're gonna have to control the run. Um, so I'm looking forward to see how we attack that. I think this is gonna be a defining game for Warren Sapp, for Coach Sapp. Well, I know they don't call him Coach Sapp, but I think this will be a defining moment for Warren Sapp. I think we brought him here for games like this, so it's gonna be interesting to see like how the defensive line stands up to the run. I think we didn't bit to some situations, but haven't broken. So um, let's see how that goes. They trying to stop us, y'all. MJ, what is going on? KB, stop. What happened? What? Talk to me. What happened?
I don't know. Can you not hear
Before
me?
I talk to these technical difficulties. I seen you unmute. So are you back now?
I don't know. Am I back? All right, man. Hold on. Get out of here and come
He'll
back
be
in.
right back. Okay. Okay. So he'll be right back. That was different. I also saw that Coach Rick George expressed confidence in the AD athletic director expressed confidence in Deion Sanders' commitment to the university. Y'all know I'm always joking but not joking that I think Deion is leaving with his sons. But good to know that they are confident that he'll be back. I think we got MJ back. Let's see.
Am I good?
MJ.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Testing, testing, 1, 2.
I
No?
got you. Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, got you. Okay, excellent.
Okay. Okay, let's go. My bad.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry
And
about that.
StreamYard
Yes,
acting
the
weird on
feds.
StreamYard started acting weird on my end too, so I can't say.
Oh, was it? Okay, I thought it was the feds. All right, so here we going back into it. We're looking at a quarterback that's thrown 9 touchdowns versus 4 interceptions and 4 sacks. That all that means is that he can be got to. He looks really good on video though. Watched a few of his past games, and he's a mobile quarterback. He's good. Has nice feathery touch, but that feathery touch, unless his wide receivers are wide open, those are opportunities for turnovers. So hopefully we can get some pressure on him and get him to turn over the ball a few times. The running backs get in 604 yards rushing, 7 yards per carry. Avery Johnson, the quarterback, 44 carries, 321, over 7 yards a carry. They both have 2 touchdowns on the year. Dylan Edwards, the chalkboard player of this game, 200 yards rushing. He has 2 touchdowns rushing. He also has a touchdown receiving. They're two, or actually they got their tight end. Their tight end gets into it a lot too. So Jace Brown looks to be their best receiver. He's 277 yards receiving, 17 catches, 1 touchdown. Keegan Johnson, 14 catches, 161 yards, no touchdowns. Braden Lofton, 7 catches, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. So they have touchdowns across the board. It looks like they throw their tight ends a lot, which is good or bad. I'm not sure. I know I'm confident our linebackers can cover tight ends pretty well. It's all about if the defensive line can contain the quarterback enough to be able to force them into bad throws. So hopefully that happens. I know that, let me see. So Bentley's been playing really well. I know that for a fact. I know that we had, I can't pronounce his name. Chidozie
Yeah, I
Nwako.
think that's how you say it. I think that's
Yeah,
how you say
he's been getting some real good pressure up the middle, which is actually really good. Even though, I mean, he has a sack. It looks like we have, let me see, 6. We have 10 sacks on the year, which is not bad. It's actually really good, and especially compared to last year. The only thing is, I'd love for our interception rate to go up. Like, we've had some good opportunities. We just haven't taken advantage of it. And then on top of that, we've forced 4 fumbles, but we've only recovered 1 of them, which is also a good thing. So hopefully we can tie this all together. I mean, there's a lot of good pressure that's coming off the ends. Bentley is a for sure good tackler. The only problem that we're looking at is that I really think he should have more, but I don't think he's actually relied upon to stop the run and actually rush the passer too. So he's got a lot on his plate. I'm just looking down the list here. Just looking at a few people. Trevor Wood, he's not getting in the mix. But yeah, I just I'm optimistic about our chances on winning this game. The only issue that I have really is
That's optimistic. You're like optimistic enough to like put some shekels on it, or like optimistic like I'm gonna see.
Well, that's the whole thing. You know how I feel. I don't really like putting shekels on teams that I actually have a vested interest in. So Colorado, Seattle, a few other teams, but yeah, I mean, I could. I mean, I if I was going to put shekels on anything, it would be the offense. Definitely the offense.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose
That's
from.
The defense. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's the defense is it's a little bit harder, man. I could put
Even
like
with Shiloh coming back.
I know I could put shekels on the sacks, but the
Okay.
interceptions themselves, since we only have 4, I mean, this would be the game to do it if we were going to get more. But I mean, sacks would probably be the best thing to bet on, because like as I look, I don't see that the running backs. I'm just looking. I don't see that they've lost any fumbles this year, which that's not a good sign. But then again, they haven't played us. Yeah, they haven't played us though, so that's. I mean, we'll put it that way. Their defense. Let me see.
Let's go. Right.
I'm just saying. Right. I'm just saying. Their defensive force the same amount of fumbles. They've only recovered 1. They have how many sacks? They have one guy that has 4 sacks on the defensive line, but they have 3, 7. They have 12 sacks on the year, which isn't bad either. Who's their leading tackler? Their leading tackler is their cornerback. So the cornerback has 20 solo tackles, but their linebacker has 19. Okay, so he's not too bad either. Okay.
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad. But it could be exploitable. The only problem, like I said, our running game is not the best. So basically our pass is our run, so to speak, when we do short passes over the middle, screen passes, slants, that type of thing. But as long as Shedeur can keep his jersey clean, we have a good chance of definitely winning. 4.5 to 5.5 is the spread right now. I think it opened at 5.5, or maybe, I think it's 5.5 now. It opened at 4.5, so it's gone up. So I don't know why it's gone up, but you know me and spreads. I don't like. Stay away from the spread. Take the over though.
Stay away from the spread, but take the over. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. Now, okay, I'm looking at this and I see that from what I'm seeing, according to Colorado, Kansas State is a 4-point favorite.
Yeah.
So that's almost like a pick 'em, though, ain't it?
3's a pick 'em.
3's a pick 'em. So you think four make them a real favorite?
That's why they do 4.5. Yeah, 4.5.
I don't know.
Yeah, pick 'em's 2.5 to 3 is a pick 'em or
Okay,
lower.
okay, I take that or lower.
Yep.
Now, the one thing I wanted to know is how. Oh wait, let me check. Let me jump in here. Colorado can put up the numbers. I just want the defense to continue to put pressure on K-State offense. Yeah, gonna have to have the defense put pressure on them. And I also want to know how, because I saw Dion was ripping them about the late start for the game.
Yeah.
How does that affect, if at all, how we perform?
It could. I mean, there's probably going to be at least a couple players that may not be ready for the time zone shift. That's a late game. 8:00. That's a late game.
You ain't gotta tell me because it's gonna be 10. It's gonna be 10:15 here. It's gonna be 10-10. It's gonna be just like, but it's gonna be like watching a Warriors game. I mean, I guess I'm kind of used to it
exactly. Well, that's
because
true. That's right.
I
I
watched
forgot
a lot of West Coast sports. So I
right.
mean, I'm used to it. But
Yeah.
from an athlete's perspective, what I'm saying. I guess it's still it's mountain time, so it's not like they're traveling to a different time zone, but it is a
Yeah,
little bit
but
different.
this game should be 4. It should be at 7 Eastern. This game should be at 7 Eastern.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Really? Why?
Well, because one, I mean, okay, so 7
And
o'clock.
I'm asking because what is it up against? Is it up against
Right.
Is it up against the playoffs? What is it up against?
Against some baseball at the very least. Preseason basketball and preseason hockey is not going to take attention away from the game. I don't know why they just want to make it that late, because that's a late game. It's a late game for the sponsors too, right? Because people. Okay, so all right, let's just say, for the argument's sake, that Colorado's blowing K-State out, and people are like, all right, it's time to go out now. So they start getting so all the advertisers that's looking for their spots to get shown and all that stuff. People are gone. They're like, worried about this damn game, whatever the case may be. But if you play the game at 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, it only competes with a few other games, right? And I guess from the affiliates, I mean, there's this thing that if the main affiliate for a channel is going to take this game, right? They're not going after Alabama, they're not going after Georgia or these other teams. They want Colorado in that spot. So now you got 2, maybe even 3 other teams going in prime time up against Colorado, whereas the Colorado game is going to get more of the ad revenue, just because the cost of the ads are going to be higher, and then of course the attention in itself. They don't want Colorado to have too much attention anyway because of Coach Prime. You already know that. So there's a number of other underlying things that go along with that, though. Mm-hmm. But when was the last time you saw a primetime game in the middle of, or not even in the middle of the season, near the middle of the season, that was at 10 o'clock Eastern?
Last year with these jokers. Last year with these jokers. And it was one of the best football games ever. People was up like, we can't believe the world stayed up to watch Colorado play football till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. Hell yeah, they did, because it was a good-ass game. These jokers. It was these jokers. And it was a hell of a game. So this is why I'm here. I'm all in. Let's go.
True.
Let's go. And I was finna ask, and y'all know, I watch sports everywhere, and I watch it at different times. But I just thought that it was like, everybody gets one late game in the season. Is it not like that? Like, I just thought everybody got one late one. No,
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not even Washington last year when they were really good. I don't think they played at 10 o'clock, except for during the bowl games.
Okay, it's gonna be 8 there in Houston. The keys are Black Bully and Nikai Hill Green. Look for Will Shepherd to play big. Okay, showstopper.
Here we go. Yeah.
They could have switched it with the Iowa State and West Virginia. Okay, nobody want to see Iowa State and West Virginia. Oh my God. People gonna watch it because of Prime. I'm here for it. Like, yeah, I'm here for it. We watch it because of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what else is on? What else?
Yeah.
What else are you watching at 10 o'clock? I mean, come on. It should be good football. It's the Sanders family, the next family of football. I keep trying to tell you, next family of NFL football. We creeping into this Big 12 race. We get this win over Kansas State.
This is gonna be a great game.
What are we talking about?
The one thing I want to make sure of too is one of the things that could really help Colorado right off the top is, and I've seen this. I don't know, maybe it's superstitious or maybe I'm just seeing things into something. When Will Shepherd has early catches in a game, we do well. When he has early catches in a game, the offense runs well. Shador, he ends up finding people in their routes early without pressure. For some reason, I don't know if it's a good luck charm or whatever the case may be. When he actually starts well, we do well. I know LeJohntay Wester has saved our bacon a few times this season already. I expect him to show up just based off of the way that he plays. He started slow too, but now, I mean, he's I dare I say he takes a little bit of opportunities away from Jimmy Horn Jr. He's a faster athlete than I thought he was going to be. He has great hands. You could probably run jet sweeps with him if you really wanted to, just to take some pressure off the running backs, right? So, I mean, that's just a thought. It seems to me that the Colorado offensive coordinator actually tries to make it as simple as possible. So not to confuse people and different things like that, right? Because, all the sacks we had last year, we're trying to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I think he dumbs it down a little bit, maybe too much, because we should have some flea flickers in our offense. We should have some double reverses. There's something to be said about throwing the defense off, at least, even if the play doesn't go for long yards, just to give them a different look. So that way it loosens it up for running and more medium to long passes, different things like that. But look for Will Shepherd to get off early. If he gets off early, that's a good sign for Colorado football.
Okay, let's go. What's good, Kia Highlight? My favorite session. What's happening, fam? I appreciate you pulling up. Reporting live from the gig. I'm gonna get one in for the both of us. Plus, stay at home. It's gonna be fire, AB, ain't it? Yeah, I hear it. Marcus ATV, what's good, fam? Woo. It's so many movies coming up right now. There's so many movies coming up right now. Who's your X Factor?
X Factor in this game besides Travis and Will. Who I would say is an X Factor? I would say Cameron Craig's an X Factor. I want to see how he's going to play alongside Shiloh. He's been doing so well, in absence of Shiloh. I want to see if he's going to keep up the good work. Sure tackler. He did pass. He's defended one pass, but he hasn't got an interception yet. It'd be great for him to. He did get a fumble recovery. He's the one that took the fumble recovery in for a touchdown. So he scooped it up and went 90 yards. So we like to see something similar to that. An interception, maybe another fumble recovery, something like that. That would be good. I think he's the X Factor.
Okay, AB saying Horn Jr. I like Horn Jr. as the X Factor. Bring Shiloh in slowly. Even with I think Shiloh coming in I think Shiloh wants to come in and make his presence felt. Like, I think Shiloh is itching to play. Like,
well, he can't play all the snaps though because he doesn't have
all the snaps, but he itching to come in and make his presence felt though, right?
Oh yeah. He got.
If they give him a clean pocket, the game will be over early. I believe that showstopper because, like I said, I believe I believe Kansas State. They're vulnerable. They're vulnerable deep. He'll be able to carve them up. He'll be able to carve them up with the weapons that we're gonna throw out there. So I'm looking forward to a really, really good game. Like I said, I don't expect it to be a blowout, but I expect us to win comfortably. So this is how weird StreamYard is. I just got your message. It's so weird. I just thought I should.
Really?
It's just funny. It showed on this side. I'm like, what are you talking about? I hear you perfectly. I'm not clear. I don't know.
One thing we can lay out
technology
is that they don't. Kansas State is ranked number 66 in the nation when they play away from home. So what that means is that their rating, their offense defense rating drops significantly when they don't play at home. When they play at home, they're number 13 in the nation, and they're number 2 in the conference. But when they play away, they're number 12 in their power ratings. So it doesn't really. That's kind of a general. Doesn't tell you on offense or defense why it drops, but I honestly don't care. That number looks good to me. As long as they don't play well away from home, I'm good with that. All right, so that may work to our advantage, but yeah, they they have a good rating at home. Home court, home advantage. They're number 1. Strength of schedule. Their strength of schedule is number 1 in the conference. Number 15 in the nation. So okay, all right, fair enough.
AB, I see
Just
you.
some advanced team
Uh-oh.
Yep.
MJ, you there? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
Yep. No, that's all I wanted to say. I was just going through the kind of the rankings. I mean, ours. Let me see on a neutral. I don't think we haven't even played on a neutral field. It doesn't make any sense. Home rating is number 15 in the conference, which that doesn't make sense. And then away, it's actually number 3 in the conference, and number 31. So we play better when we're not in Folsom Field. Okay. I don't know what that means. That maybe we're too comfortable or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense.
I see AB say you got to remember he hasn't played in a while. As a coach myself, bringing him in slowly. I get that part, and I think so in my thinking, I was thinking that Shiloh probably could have played last week, but maybe because his dad is the coach, he kept him out 1 extra week. So that was kind of that was my thinking. But no, I get it. We don't want him coming back and re-injuring himself. The Buffs get the win. Get this win, they should be ranked next week. Oh yeah, I like that, and we should be moving on up. Like moving on up. Put the numbers on us, baby. Put the numbers on us. No, what
in the well off video from like I guess it would have been last week. Bucky was messing with Shiloh, asking, "Hey, when you coming back?" "Oh man, I should have been back last week," or something like to that effect. I was like, "Yeah." So he's been ready to play. It's more or less they're just keeping him out to make sure that he's solid.
I get it, game speed and the physicality of it, and still fragile. You know what I mean? You said he's gonna play with the rubber cast on, so bring him back slowly. But I do expect him to be looking to make a mark on this game.
I think it's mostly the win, though, right? He's got to get the that game speed up. You can't really duplicate that in practice. Yeah, it's once you get in the game, then that's when you get your win back, right? So.
Yes, exactly. Game speed. Got to be in the game to get game speed. Moving on up like the Jefferson, you better believe it. You better believe it.
Yeah. This ought to be good. I just want to see what's going to happen because I know Dylan Edwards is going to be on some extra stuff.
Yeah, I see 26 people in the chat. Run them likes up for me and MJ. If y'all are watching on your phone, double tap on that phone or press and hold. If you're on the TV, scroll up and to the right, hit that like on me. What's going on? If you ain't subscribed already, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell, stay in this conversation. We're gonna be talking Buffs rest of the season. We'll figure out what our weekly show is. Maybe on Thursdays. It'll be closer to when the game is. Just giving our little preview of the game coming up and our thoughts on what we've seen out of the week. MJ, what you got before you ready to get out of here?
Make sure you guys support Bucks videos on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. They always have some type of little blurbs that come out. There's about a handful of homegrown YouTubers that actually cover
Rob the Man Media. Run it up on Rob the Man Media for me, y'all. Run it up on Rob the Man Media.
One of the main ones, and then they have some good shows where actually Coach Prime actually gets on and gives us, the real tea, right? So instead of having to hear it from everybody else that don't really know what's going on. So yeah, keep supporting. We want to get this show on the road. Yeah,
smash them likes. Look for Dalen Hayden and Isaiah Augustov to pound that rock. Oh,
yeah,
okay. We're gonna be on the lookout for the show stopping. We will be back next week. We'll be back next week talking more buffs. We appreciate y'all pulling up. I'm back at 8 like I never left for WNBA finals at Auntie's house. Pull up. Until next time, stay tuned. Talk soon, y'all. We out.